Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Last week I did a poll on my Instagram page to see what kind of video you wanted to see next, whether it be health related or beauty related. Beauty won just by a hair, so this will be a beauty video. If you did vote for health, that should be coming sometime next week, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and follow along if you want to see what I have in store for that. So I figured for my first makeup centered video, I would kind of start with just my go-to daily favorites that are always in my makeup bag, things that I grab on a daily basis when I'm putting makeup on. I have acquired quite a good amount of makeup over the years. I've always been obsessed with makeup for as long as I could remember. It was like my dream in life to be a MAC artist with MAC Cosmetics, and after high school, I did get a job. Well, actually during my senior year, I got a job with them. So I would go to school and then go to work right after at the Nordstrom in Salem. But I worked for them for about 3 years, and primarily up until that point, I had really just focused on MAC makeup. Now that I don't work for them any longer, and I've kind of grown both in age and in makeup, my makeup world has opened a bit more, and I've explored a lot of different brands. So what I'm going to do is kind of go through in what I do from start to finish. I obviously start with all my skincare, so if you're curious about what skincare I do use, you can check out my last video where I talked about all of that. So I will do my skincare, and then I always start with a primer. Ever since my wedding, I have been super into the Fenty Beauty Primer. I love how soft this is. It goes on so smooth, it makes your skin feel so smooth, but it doesn't have that like thick silicone feel that some of the primers have, where it just feels like it sits on top of your skin. So I really love this primer. And then I actually have also been using the Fenty foundation. I'm in the shade 170 because clearly I am the color of paper. So I use a really light shade. The really great thing about this brand is that there are millions of shades, so props to you, Rihanna. But I love this foundation. I am a full coverage girl, especially when my skin is breaking out, like it is right now, but full coverage is my jam. So this you can put on a sheer layer if you want kind of a medium to full coverage, and then if you want to put additional layer on, it really does make it full coverage. So I love this foundation for when I'm doing a full makeup look. If I'm just going to work and need something on my foundation, on my face, I also wanted to touch on this foundation, Laura Mercier Silk Cream. This is the oil-free one. This gives a really good amount of coverage, but at the same time, it doesn't look dry. It has kind of a dewy, nice, subtle finish. So I really like this as well, and it's a good amount of coverage. So after my primer and foundation, I do a little bit of concealer. I'm sure everybody and their brother has heard of this, but it's the Shape Tape Concealer by Tarte. It is as good as they say. That's why everyone has heard of it. But I will just swipe this under my eyes and on any blemishes that I want to cover. It is so full coverage, so a little bit goes a long way. This is still my first tube of this, and I've probably had it for, I don't know, a year or more, so it really goes a long way. After I conceal, I used to put on another powder foundation on top, so I was all about that coverage life. But now I kind of have toned that down a little bit, so I like to do just a translucent powder on top to set my foundation and my concealer. So I have been using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is a really great basic solid translucent powder. It looks really pretty on the skin. It can look a little dry or chalky if you use too much, so you definitely want to use sparingly. And then recently, I discovered the Cover FX, I think it's like, yeah, perfect setting powder, and it really is pretty perfect. So I actually have this one on today, and I've used it a couple of times, and I really like it. I feel like it doesn't look as dry as the Laura setting powder. So depending on what kind of look you're going for, you can do either or, but I kind of bounce between the two. Another powder that I did want to touch on that I really like and used, this was probably my first MAC product I ever used, and it's the Studio Fix powder. This is a full coverage powder foundation. I used to use this just by itself as a foundation, and then I put it over liquid foundation. But now if I'm just kind of running out to the grocery store or don't really want to put any makeup on, I'll just buff some of this onto my skin to even out some of maybe my blemishes or discoloration, just so I don't look like, you know, a beast going out in public, so I'm a little bit more presentable. So this is still a staple in my makeup bag, even after all these years. So after I've done my million layers of primer, foundation, powders, all of that stuff, at this point I will look like a white flat ghost. So it's time to put some bronzer on. Recently I have found the Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer. It is the shit. I love this bronzer so much. First of all, it's huge. So the pan itself is giant. I mean, this is going to take a while to get through. The reason that I really like this bronzer is it's not too cool and it's not too orange. So it's really great if you are pale like me. It goes on pretty sheer at first. You can do one layer if you just want a tiny bit of color, but then you can keep layering to build. I don't know if this would be the best if you're super tan, just because it still takes a couple of layers for my pale ass to get any color. So that is one of the reasons I really like it. But if you are tan, I don't know if this would be the best bronzer for you, but for us pale girls, this is the best. After I bronze, if I am doing kind of a full face look, I will do just a little bit of contour. This is Makeup Forever, and they have these little pans where you can pick whatever color you want, or they have like a pan of 4 or 6. This is just a neutral tone. Again, I'll just put this a little bit under my cheekbones, maybe along the jawline if I'm trying to look a little bit slimmer maybe in the face. So I really, really like this, but again, I only contour my face if I'm doing a fuller makeup look, which isn't very often anymore, to be honest. After I do my contour, I always highlight. So I've been obsessed with this highlight for, I don't know, 3 years now, but it's the Becca highlight. This one is in Opal. This is a brand new one because I used all of my other one, but the reason that I really love this highlight is that it is so smooth. So it's not grainy. It doesn't feel like there's chunks of glitter that are just sitting on top of your skin or something like that. It almost feels like a cream highlight. But I will just put this on my cheekbones. Sometimes I'll put it down the center of my nose. If I'm doing a bold lip, I'll do my Cupid's bow. If I'm not wearing really any makeup at all, I'll throw a little bit under my brow. But then if I am doing eye makeup, I always use this just kind of in my tear duct area to add a pop of light there. But this is my favorite highlighter. I don't know if I'll ever really go to a different one that I like more. But if you do know of any that you have tried this and you like other ones better, definitely let me know, because I am open to suggestions and trying things out. So for blush, another MAC product that I've had kind of from day one that I'm obsessed with is their mineralized blush line. So usually I use the Warm Soul color, which is a little bit less pink than this. It's a little bit kind of tan, but I am fresh out of my Warm Soul, and I have 2 of these sitting around. This color is Dainty. It's what I have on right now. So before I'm allowing myself to buy any more blush, I said that I have to go through all the blush that I have. So I am trying to go through this, but this is what I wear on the daily. After I finish all of my face makeup and, you know, all of those layers that you've seen, it can feel like a bit much or a bit powdery. So I always do a finishing spray at this point before I go into anything else. I have been using the Urban Decay De-Slick one, which is more for oily skin. I did have their, I think it was like Up All Night or All Nighter or something like that, to make your makeup last longer. Honestly, I don't know if it truly makes your makeup last longer, but it definitely takes that powdery look away instantly, so it just kind of looks more like skin. So any oily skin girls out there, you know, halfway through your day, once your makeup's kind of settled and that powder look is gone, this kind of offers that instantly. So I really like that, especially if I want to walk out the house and not look like I just put like 8 pounds of powder on. So I will do a few squirts of this on my face. So then moving on from there, I start my eye makeup with my brows. So my brows. I have gone through so many phases with my brows, it's ridiculous. I have some pretty bushy brows, and if I let them go, they would be down to my eyelashes. And I used to put so much product in them, especially when I first started working for MAC. I was like, oh, I need to put these 17 different products on my eyebrow and have it be touching my hairline. And no, don't need to do that. So I try and keep it more of a natural brow now. I'm obsessed with this IT Brow Power Pencil. That's a mouthful. But it's just a mechanical twist up pencil. This is in the universal brown color, so it kind of transitions me from when my hair is lighter like this to when it's darker. I mean, even when I had purple hair, I would use this color. But it is a twist up, which I like because no one's carrying a sharpener around with them. It does have the little brow spoolie thing on the other side, so I usually just brush out my brows. I'll fill it in as little as possible. So if I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, I'll just do a few swipes so that they look a little bit more shapely. If I do put eye makeup on, then I will kind of outline them a little bit more. But then after I put the color in, I always use a brow gel. My brows are bushy and crazy and they go 800 different ways, so I just tame them with the little bit of a clear brow gel. This is by Tarte as well, but I'll just swipe this through so that they're not, you know, flying all around or whatever. And then on to eye makeup. So I honestly have not been wearing that much eye makeup often ever since I started getting lash extensions. I just feel like I can wake up and I'm ready, other than the fact that maybe putting some foundation or coverage on. When I do eye makeup, however, I always start with an eyeshadow base. This is another staple from MAC that I have used since day one. I think they still call them paint pots. They may have changed their name. I'm not sure. I'm kind of out of that world now. But this is the soft ochre color. It's honestly just like a fleshy skin toned color, and I'll pat that on my eyelid. This is really going to help your eyeshadow stay on better, be more blendable. It's not going to crease throughout the day, what have you. So I'll put this down first, and then I do have two staple colors from MAC that I hang on to and kind of keep replenishing, going back to. One of them is Dazzle Light. It is just a lighter, creamy, it is pretty bright, so I'll do this kind of on my lid if I want a pop of color. And then this one I don't think I'm ever going to stop using. This is Soft Brown. It's just a really nice, soft, neutral brown to do your crease with. So if I'm not wearing any eye makeup, or I am going to do a full eye, I start with this guy and I carve out my crease every single time. I love it. From there, I have a couple of palettes that I've been really into, and if I'm traveling, this is what I take with me. One of them is the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia. Love this. It's such a pretty palette. It has some shimmer, some matte in there, but it is a little bit more of that mauve-y toned. When I first got this, I think I wore this every day for like 6 months, but it's still a really, really pretty one, so I wanted to touch on that. And then the one that I'm obsessed with is the Jaclyn Hill from Morphe, or Morph, whatever, however you call it. You should know I'm never going to pronounce anything right, and I'm okay with that. So she rocked this palette. It's beautiful. If you don't have it, you need to get it. So I was like, how good is this going to be? It's not that expensive. Not that if it's expensive, it has to be good, what have you. But I was like, I just don't really know. There's a lot of color in there. I got it, and it's amazing. It blends out really easy. It doesn't fly around your face. It's really, really good. She did great in kind of touching every color, texture. There's matte, there's shimmer, there's glitter. It's a really nice palette, and clearly I use kind of this top corner more than any of the others. I don't do a ton of color anymore on my eyes, but maybe if I'm going out or like going to a show or something. But I love this palette. And then what I have on right now, which I have been obsessed with, not an everyday makeup item, but definitely something that I enjoy to pop on if I'm going out to dinner or going out for the night. Not that I really go out that often, but it's the Stila, I don't know, liquid eyeshadows. And these are so shimmery and so pretty. They do offer a high amount of glitter, and you can kind of layer this on anything. One sheer layer might not be that much glittery and that much pop, but then you can keep adding on it. It's really buildable. So I really like this, and it comes in like 10 or 12 colors. There really is a lot of colors. This is the only one I have. So from there, I have my eyeshadow on, my eyebrows are done, and then we'll go to eyeliner. I don't really wear eyeliner that often now that, again, my lashes are done. When I do, I really like this Kat Von D one. It's the tattoo ink or whatever. It's the black one. It's a really, really sharp, fine point. So this is really good if you're doing a more precise eyeliner, like a cat eye or something like that. When I did wear liner, it would always be a cat eye. I mean, there were times I had some Amy Winehouse liner on, but we all go through our phases. But if I do wear eyeliner, it is this one. And this stuff stays on so freaking good. You can put this on, go out all night, fall asleep drunk because you were too lazy to take your makeup off, and I swear to God, you wake up in the morning and it's like you just did your makeup. It's great. So I highly recommend it if you're a liner girl. And then for my waterline, this is something that I will do on a more regular basis, but the Makeup Forever Aqua XL, I think that's what it is, yeah, eye pencil, this is really, really great. I honestly have not found an eye pencil like this that stays so well in your waterline without giving you the raccoon eyes halfway through the day, or that you feel like you have to touch up all the time. I can put this in my waterline and I don't have to touch it up ever. So I'll just throw this in the bottom. Sometimes I'll do just a touch along the top, but I like to avoid messing with my lashes. So I really, really love this. As far as mascara goes, because of the lash extensions, I don't put any mascara on my top lashes. But if I have done a full face of makeup, I like to do just a little layer on my bottom lashes. And this guy is something that I have literally used since, I don't know, 8th grade. I keep buying it over and over again. It's just drugstore L'Oreal Voluminous Original, and I think that my mom used this, which is why I got into it. I don't know. It's honestly the best mascara I've ever used, and it's cheap. You don't need to buy some $80 mascara to get a good turnout. The reason that I like this mascara is because it's just your regular wand. It's not one of those plastic wands that's supposed to separate your lashes or extend it or whatever. It's just a regular wand. It layers really well. When I didn't have lash extensions, this is still what I used. It's nice because I am a like double layer mascara girl, so I'll put one layer on, I'll wait a minute, and then I'll do another layer. And the thing that I liked about this is it didn't clump, it didn't do like the spider leg lashes or anything like that. It layered really well, so it's buildable, which I really like. Also, it comes off really easy, and not like during the day it comes off, like falls on your face or any of that shit, but when you wash your face at night, it falls right off, which I love. Now for lips. Starting with the basics, chapstick. I will always have chapstick with me. If you know me at all, I have my chapstick and my water with me at all times. So this is definitely a staple in my makeup bag, in my purse, in my life, in my backpack, whatever. I have chapstick with me. And then I also like this Lip Luxe. It's kind of like a lip balm chapsticky thing. It's peppermint and it is a little bit of a plumper, but I like to throw this on during the day, or if I don't really have any makeup on, or even when I do have makeup on. It just offers a really high shine and a high gloss for a chapstick, and it stays on pretty well. So it's not one of those ones where you feel like you're going to have to put it on every hour. It really does stay put. And then when I do a lip, which I don't do that often anymore, I usually do the lip combination that I'm wearing right now. And I do try to stay with the more like soft mauve pinks. So I'll kind of go through what I have on right now. Stila makes these really good liquid lipsticks. The one thing that I will say about this is they're very like fluid, not watery. They just feel real loose when you get them out. So I will sit there and wipe off a ton of excess product before I even go into my lip. I'll put this on, I'll let it dry down, and these dry down really, really freaking matte and dry. So I can't just wear this by itself, I have to put something over it. And recently I've been putting this like really soft pink from MAC. This is one of their Viva Glam lines, or through the Viva Glam line. They're always a celebrity, honestly. I don't know what celebrity this is, and I know that's terrible. There's a signature on here, but I can't read it. Anyways, I love this, but any soft pink I'll throw on over that. And then I still like to have a little bit of a shine or a little bit of a gloss. So this is just a cheapy Revlon lip gloss. It's clear, it has a little bit of a shimmer, and I'll just kind of put this in the center and around my like Cupid's bow area so that there's a little bit of gloss. And then voila, that is it. At that point, I have done my makeup. That's kind of my everyday stuff. Some days I use it all, some days I only use some of it, but those are like my must-haves, the things that I'm definitely replenishing the most in my would buy again items. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video and maybe you learned about some things that you didn't know about before. If you try any of it, let me know. I want to hear your experiences with it and if you liked it. And then definitely subscribe and follow along if you do want to see the health video that I have planned for next week. Thanks so much.